Can you feel that?
3 and 2.
3 and 2.
3 and 2. 3 and 2. 3 and 2. 3 and 2. Crack 'em if you got 'em, son.
Crack 'em if you got 'em. Crack 'em if you got 'em.
Away.
Crack 'em if you got 'em.
Get 'em in your belly. Get 'em
Let
in
me
your
get mine,
belly. Yeah, get it in your son.
Crack 'em if you
Oh, these Crack'ems are sponsored by Drip. That's what
drip, drip,
2
drip,
R's,
drip, drip,
baby.
drip. Hard seltzer, son.
Get your DRRIP in you, son.
Welcome to the Cowboys Can Fan Show, guys. And we never do this. We stopped doing this. You can find anything Cowboys Can Fan related at Cowboys Can Fan on every single social media platform.
Oh, yeah.
Whether it be TikTok, X, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Is that all of them? Or
A direct mail list.
our mail list to you. You can find us at everything at Cowboys Can Fan,
Even on OF, baby.
even on OF.
OF. I don't know what the other ones are. But
Fellas, welcome to the main
P-Hub.
event.
P-Hub.
Yeah, P-Hub, porn, just lots of P-Hub Can Fan swag. Actually, I would like to get a Cowboys Can Fan shirt in the Pornhub, like that looks like the Pornhub logo.
Yeah.
Okay, daddy can make.
Okay, all right. How you guys doing, bandwagon boys?
I'm doing good. I'm feeling good. I'm glad that we're all back in studio after a little bit of a hiatus. Octobers are just how it is. And
Oh yeah, you weren't here.
I wasn't here, but I was here on Monday. But you were out of
Yeah,
studio,
I was out
so
of
now
studio,
here we go.
yeah.
And also, real quick, let's just throw it out there.
Let's do it. Throw it out.
Tomorrow, yesterday, you threw it in the chat. Hey, I'm gonna stream whether you guys are with me or not. The Thursday night game, Seattle versus
San Fran, the
49ers.
Niners.
And then we looked at it and we're like, oh shit, I guess we're scouting for the Niners the next 2 weeks here.
Yeah, it just
So-
works out pretty nice the next 2 weeks because
Yeah.
whether they play on the Thursday nighter, so we can do that, no strings attached, and then the Cowboys have a bye week in week 7. 7?
Seven.
Is it week? Yeah, week 7.
Yep.
So then we can stream the Niners game that week, and then the following week we're in San Francisco watching those dirtbags. So it just works
Exactly.
out nicely.
Exactly. So we will be streaming tomorrow. Adam is coaching, but perhaps he'll drop in. I don't know.
Well, I'll be dropping in. I don't know. I'll be dropping in at the end of the stream, most likely.
Okay. But yeah. Anyways, not to derail today's game or today's focus, sorry, on this week 6 game, Dallas Cowboys hosting back home after a nice, was it 2-game win streak on the road, and the Detroit Lions and their high potential offense are coming to Dallas to kind of rock 'em, sock 'em Cowboys.
Rock'em sock'em robots.
How different is it this year that both all 3 Cowboys wins have been on the road and their 2 losses have been at home? Where last 2 seasons actually, the Cowboys have been almost undefeated at home. So it's a little bit of a side hustle note.
Well, a side hustle note would be Stephen Keys. Let's go Cowboys super chat for $5. Thank you, Stephen Keys.
Let's go, baby!
Cowboys!
Hey, let's go,
And
Cowboys!
if you didn't tune into the Monday Hangover, you wouldn't have heard this.
How about them Cowboys?
But how about them Cowboys?
Coming off that road victory, but no, it's true.
Good roadie.
We should have been winning it at home, but when we look back now, 5 weeks into the season, yes,
That's the
fuck,
one.
we're getting to that point where I'm
fine.
kind of lost in the fog with the weeks.
Oh,
5
week
weeks into the
6.
season already, but the loss, I'm okay. The loss to the Saints at home was just complete garbage. Team falling apart, or no one rising to the occasion for sure. But that week 3 loss to Baltimore, I think we have all kind of been able to catch our breath from that a little bit with how Baltimore's been performing.
Baltimore's a good team. Baltimore's a good football team, man. They battled the Bengals to get the WW. They smacked around who the fuck did they smack around the week before that? They smacked around someone. Garrick Henry, after the Cowboys game, his next game, absolutely mollywopped a team. I can't off the top of my
Was
brain.
it
the Eagles?
So they beat the Bills.
It was the Bills.
It was the Bills. That's who it was. That was the Bills one, and then the Cowboys before that. So when the Cowboys got beat, and this is a little side quest, but when the Cowboys got beat by the Ravens, they were 0-2 at the time, but they were the best 0-2 team in the NFL's ever seen.
Well, let's
Yeah.
put it this way: if you were a Bills fan, that people should be really shitting on the Bills because I do want to move forward, but
We'll shit on the Bills a little bit first.
we'll shit on the Bills a little
Take
bit.
your pants off and dump on
Yeah,
Josh
big
Allen.
old fat brick on his head.
If we look at the Ravens' loss the schedule here, they lost by or they won by 4 points, 3 points, whatever, 38 to 41, 3 points. They beat the Bills by 25. Then everyone else is within a score.
Except those shitty Bills.
Wins and losses. Like they lost to the Chiefs by a touchdown, lost to the Ravens by a field goal, beat the Cowboys by a field goal,
And this is
and beat the Bengals by a field goal. But then, I don't know.
well, I get what you're saying.
Where's the Bills hate, man?
And
Yeah,
it's-
where's the Josh Allen and the Bills?
Josh Allen, Bills hate.
And then when I
baby.
posted, everyone's like, "Oh yeah, you're getting moral victories." I was like, "No." And this was my whole point when I posted the comparison for the Bills game of the 35-10 and the Cowboys loss of 28-25. My whole point was to then now bring the heat onto the Bills because when the Cowboys got beat by the Ravens were an 0-2 shitty team that lost their step. But then when they beat the Bills the following week, they're now all of a sudden AFC contenders. It can't be one or the other. It's got to be tit or tat, son.
Well, why is that? Or is it just because I'm in the Cowboys bubble? But why does it seem like Josh Allen gets a lot more leeway on his leash than Dak Prescott does?
Because he's white, man.
White boy. Yeah.
That's what I think.
Oh.
I don't know if that's true.
Hey,
allegedly.
living in
I'm just
America.
trying to bring the heat on Josh Allen. But
Bring the heat. What's up, chat? Just want to say hello to everybody out there. Well, these fuckers are talking about Josh Allen. We got Kilo C's in the house. We got
Kilo.
Bandwagon Baba. We got Brent Packer guy. We got Tony Goat Romo saying 49ers can fan because we were
Nate.
talking about that. That's Nate Dogg. Cowboy Reg saying, "What's up, boys? Happy Hump Day.
what up?
Happy
Hump
Day.
Hump day.
Wally IT GT 206 can fan." And that's it, yeah. Because they hate the stars, what Cowboy Reg says. But anyways, just want a big shout out to chat. Always got to give chat love. We like to blitz through our intro and then head right into some topics. And sometimes I just got to make sure it's in my feelings. Sometimes I don't.
Well, getting into topics.
Oh,
then.
shit.
Hey, yo, there he is.
There he is. You
heard us.
You say it, and guess what?
Hey, yo.
Nate Dogg, just so you hear, we are streaming the game tomorrow. You are more than invited.
More than welcome, my dude.
I'll be out of studio, so they do need someone to hit the couch.
To lean back in that couch.
To lean back
get
in that couch.
eaten up by the couch. Guys, Detroit Lions are coming to Dallas off a bye week. My biggest question to you is, how are you nervous about this Detroit Lions offense?
Yes. I was nervous about the Steelers game.
Right.
But now, with the Steelers win over, the Cowboys win over the Steelers, I don't want to say it gives us a freebie against the Lions because you want to beat the Lions. But going into this game 3-2 feels a lot better than going into the game 2-3, right? If you lose to the Lions and you end up going into the bye week 3-3, that's okay compared to 2-4. Beat the Lions and go into the bye week 4-2, and we're salsa dancing on top of this little white table here. I'll tell you what, because if the Cowboys do and can beat the Lions, I will be jacked the A off, but I am nervous.
Well, I'm nervous for you to salsa dance on that table because
Probably ain't holding me.
It is IKEA. I mean, I know. You know what? I've got on top of it. I've spread my legs on the post and I spread my cheeks.
Spread your cheeks.
I stood up. I spread my cheeks. It withstood.
That must be at CanFanOF.
Yeah.
Fan
That
OF.
is.
Yeah, that's break.com.
Primarily, it's Adam's work, and so we do have to give him
happens, you know?
his credits. But guys, with this season, Dallas Cowboys. Let me just pull up their stats.
Pull it
here.
up. Why are you trying to hide it, dude?
Well, just because it's always it's formatted with this super wide. You know, I wish I could get those closer together.
Well,
but
you know what?
this is
If you here's what we could do behind baseball. Next week on bye week, just spend a little time with me. We'll dial in our setup here. You load some stuff up over there. I just got to match the rezos beside it, and then
No,
you
it's
don't have
not
to worry
you.
about
Look
it.
how big the space
Right. Oh, right.
The table is so fucking 50 feet away. Anyways,
Okay, behind baseball.
Cowboys are I don't know. Are they improving? Basically, just while you look at the stats here, anything jump out to you? Or are we kind of is now the season beginning where we can start to see things unfold for the Cowboys.
Which we talked about.
Yeah.
Like, now they have 5 games in the bag. This is when you're going to start seeing who the team really is. But they've had such a tale of the first 5 games have been so opposite of each other. Like, the last 2 opposed to the first 3. Sure, they beat the Browns, but when you look at the Saints and the Ravens games, and then you put the Giants and the Steelers game together, they're hard to tell. So I still not 100% sure what Cowboys team I'm watching, and having an opponent like the Lions this Sunday is really going to help kind of settle how we feel about what the Cowboys' identity is.
Yeah, exactly. And, I think starting last game perhaps, and maybe people saw it earlier, but definitely moving forward now, it seems like we know who's in the RB1 role without a question.
Yep.
Rico Dowdle seems to be sitting there. And I think that comfortability in knowing that and that responsibility can, I'm assuming with getting through the college program, making it to the NFL, you're ready, and that's going to boost your performance, right? He's not going to get cold feet, so looking for a lot from Rico Dowdle. And then also Tolbert. I think he's kind of, if he has a dog shit game, then he's just going to be one of those guys that's like high ceiling, low floor.
Yep.
But if he comes in and has another, 6 to 8 catch game, 60, 80 yards and can pull out a touchdown and one of those catches is a big third down or a touchdown, I think that he is the wide receiver 2 here, and he's going to stay even when Brandon Cooks comes back.
Yeah,
we're moving. We got to move on from Cooks if that's the case.
You got to win that spot. Can you scroll down? Do they show turnovers on this chart here anywhere?
And just for the record, the right column is the Lions, or just opponents in general?
Opponents.
Just taking the average of all their opponents.
So they got miscellaneous here. Yeah.
Okay, turnover ratio. So the Cowboys are -1 for turnovers. So I mean that's not terrible, because they've lost 1 more turnover than they've gained. So that's not awful, because have you guys felt this year, as far as turnovers go, that the Cowboys, compared to like the last few years, that they are a little bit lower than what we're used to?
Absolutely. I feel that
yes.
the opportunities are there. They just haven't gotten it. I liked hearing Overshone at the end of the Sounds of the Sideline saying, I should have had that. That's on me. I'm going to hit the jug machine. I don't want to let you guys down. Like, they've had the opportunities. There could have been 3 turnovers that last game.
The worst thing is Malik Hooker dropping that interception. Like, Overshone, sure, you're a linebacker, but Malik Hooker having one hit him right in that essential hands is a little thought concerning. But you're going to get guys back like Deron Bland soon. Hopefully when Micah gets back, he's hitting his stride with some fumble stuff. But I have felt like the turnovers at key moments, like last year, it always felt like, or even the last couple of years, it always felt like the Cowboys were 1 play away from the defense having a turnover, an interception, a forced fumble. Thing.
And this is coming off a game where we had 2 major red zone, not turnovers, but one was an interception, which was obviously a turnover. Dak throwing that questionable pass.
But Dak also fumbled in the red zone.
Dak fumbled in the red zone, and then Rico Dowdle fumbled in the red zone, but
there was 2 red zones.
There was 2. Okay, yeah. So there you go.
And a blocked kick, I think, at like the 22.
That's right. So
the Cowboys had and I hate to get back to last game, but it's relevant right now. They had 6 possessions within the 20, like 6 of their possessions they got in within the 25. And in those 6 possessions, this was in this first 3 quarters, they had, I think, 3 points from it. With it inside the 25. So technically wasn't red zone, but the 25 is more than capable of getting more than 3 points.
And look, they're going to need that against the Lions here, guys, because
is that a line?
It sounded like it.
That's like a Jaguar.
We're coming into another potential top 5 defensive end with Aiden. What's his name?
Aiden Hutchinson.
Aiden Hutchinson.
He's leading the NFL right now in sacks with 6.5.
And he's the type of guy too that if he beats you, he can put 3 sacks in a game. Like, he's done that quite frequently in his career. And I know a lot of guys can do that, but like, that's what I'm worried about. If he finds a weakness, they're gonna be able to disrupt with that. And then of course on the other side of the ball is this banged up, depleted Dallas Cowboys defense for real? Like, have they been? Is it true that after week 3, Mike Zimmer sewed up the holes and was able to to make this thing
He
work.
got those stupid grandma glasses on that you always see him in
Yeah.
on the sidelines, and he's knitting.
He's knitting.
He's knitting
He's
the
knit-
holes, man.
He's a Nittany Lion. But I mean, if you look at some of the, you want to ask, talk about Agent Aiden Hutchinson. We played him last year. I don't know what side he primarily was on last year, or who he really teed off against.
He lines up on the right.
Did we have Tyron Smith that game?
I can't. I have no idea.
But we did make adjustments. So we
Yeah, we did. We had him.
Oh, we did have him. Okay.
It
So
just seems better for me to give you a positive answer than not.
Well,
I'm just saying, yeah, we did. 100% had him.
okay, but
He played great. Tyron Smith, it's actually what led to his signing with the Jets. That one game.
So when last game when Tyler Guyton got injured, and then we made those adjustments, TJ Bass at the line as well with Tyler Smith kicking out to that left tackle position. They made some really solid adjustments. When you talk about have they game planned enough, are we going to see something like that go into this game because it fared very well, or are we going to have Tyler Smith right back at left tackle? Tyler Guyton at left tackle and Tyler Smith right back at left guard. TJ Bass off the line. I'm more concerned about. Well, not concerned. I'm more interested in to see, do they look at what was successful last game with some of these adjustments, and do they carry it over to this next week, because it seemed to work fairly well.
If Tyler Guyton's healthy, he's playing. I think it's as easy as that.
Definitely. But that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, were those last 2 weeks against arguably like more mid-range opponents compared to, say, the Baltimore Ravens? But I guess the first two teams we played in this season weren't very. I would put them in the same range. Lions are definitely, I think, a tier above, or at least in that same tier as the Ravens, in my mind.
Yep. Oh, definitely. And can run the ball.
And can run the ball. So it's
like the Ravens and like the Saints for sure.
Right. So this is going to be a big test for that defense to see, like, was it all smoke and mirrors the last two games? Because we held each team to under 20 points, right?
20 under 20 points and under 50 for like each guy. They held to under 50 rushing yards and then like under 100 as a team.
Yeah, so I don't know if we will see that
matchups
against the Lions, but I do hope that they're able to play that bend, don't break style, keep a couple should-be touchdowns off the board. So
we just don't want to see 300 yards rushed against.
Yeah, exactly.
Make Jared Goff beat the Cowboys. So Jared Goff last game before the bye week, he went 16 for 16. Didn't throw an incompletion.
You got to worry about that.
You got to worry about that.
Motherfucker.
And that Ryan Gosling looking motherfucker. And that was in one of the most exciting games of the year. So that put that in perspective. One of the most exciting games of the year, Monday night against the Seahawks, Jared Goff only had to throw 16 times. If your quarterback's only throwing 16 times and you're still putting up crazy points, you have a lot of playmakers, and more than likely you have a lot of playmakers running that damn rock, son.
I mean, you can the nice thing about the NFL.
the nice thing about the NFL.
The nice thing about the NFL is that one game doesn't necessarily translate to every single game. You kind of hope it was like a one-off situation where Goff goes 16 for 16, but like you said, there's no getting around it. You have a more formidable quarterback in Jared Goff versus someone like Fields. So like Justin Fields, you neutralize his run. He forces a lot of mistakes. They don't really have a wide receiver core. We're coming into the Lions who have Amon-Ra St. Brown and Sam Laporta. So now you have some immediate receiving weapons, and then you have a decent run game between Jahmyr Gibbs and Montgomery.
David Montgomery.
Which, I mean, I think Montgomery's
Sir David Montgomery.
Sir David Montgomery's been getting a few more reps than that. But Tony Romo says left tackle Tyler Smith, left guard Bass, center Beebe, right guard Zach, right tackle Guyton is what he wants to see.
I don't hate that, man, because Terrence Steele sucks. Terrence Steele's awful. He has not looked good, and I keep waiting for him to kind of turn that corner. But granted, they have played, the Cowboys offensive line has played against some fucking dogs this season already.
Mm-hmm.
You've had what the fuck's his name? Why can't I think of his name?
Garrett.
Miles Garrett.
Yeah.
TJ Watt. Then you had the guys in Baltimore. Like, these played against some very good defensive linemen. So.
Yeah, and you have the offensive line or the defensive line from the Giants isn't something to like not.
No, Thibodeau's good.
Yep.
Thibodeau. Thibodeau,
Well,
Brian Burns.
speaking of the line, let's have a look at this. Cowboys offense versus the Lions defense matchup. Now, what's the biggest thing that stands out to you?
Go right at period, blood guy.
Period, blood guy, Houston. He is super dehydrated. That's bad color for your urine.
Going
But
against his
he's
other
matching-
D.
yeah, but he's
He's matching dehydrated Guyton.
Yeah, but him and Guyton have been drinking, it looks like.
Yeah.
but-
yes. Yes. No. Yes.
I don't know that Hutchinson's going to be glued to that side, but he's the number 1 ranked edge rusher right now on PFF. So that's what we're coming into. Three
And
dogs.
He is good, man. You watch him, he's crazy off the ball. He doesn't stop. You always hear that, oh, I just want a guy with a motor, especially from Detroit City. This guy's got a motor. Hutchinson's going to be someone that's going to be wreaking havoc on Dak Prescott in the offensive line all night.
Well, that side of the ball is fairly similar to what it was last year. So I don't know what. Maybe we can even go do it Back to the Future and see what Hutchinson pulled on us last year. Once we get through this, just to kind of go do a tail of the tape.
What, Dallas Cowboys?
Dallas Cowboys versus Detroit Lions 2023. And just see what Aiden Hutchinson's stat line is.
That was the game where the penalty at the end of the game and everyone was freaking out.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Oh, yeah. So Hutchinson had 5 total tackles, 5 solo tackles, 3 sacks, 4 tackles for a loss, and 5 quarterback
They had
hits.
3 sacks last year.
Yeah. But Cowboys still won 20-19.
That's right, you little bitches.
Read out CD stat line there.
CD stat line, well, that's fumbles. 13 receptions, 227 yards, 1 touchdown, along a 9. That was the 92-yard pass game.
Right.
But then here's the shitty thing. Underneath CD Lamb, the next best was Brandon Cooks, 5 for 60. Jake Ferguson, 4 for 33.
Yeah, but if you're number 1 at 220, I don't.
Well, your number one,
gaff.
you could get 220 for that. Fergie will have more receptions, and then those 5 can go to Tolbert and Turpin.
Okay, well, looking at this matchup though of the guys that we got on the screen that people are looking at here, what's something that sticks out to you? Obviously, the Houston Guyton, because I mean they're dehydrated. But besides that, what's something that sticks out to you guys?
Well, I want
CeeDee Lamb being the 53rd ranked PFF wide receiver is kind of something that's shocking to me.
I'll go across the line here, but just in the line here, just in the Detroit defensive line versus Cowboys offensive line, it seems a lot better than what I thought it would be. With Smith and Martin just being anchors, Steele actually has not a terrible rating. He's like just very average, but I guess we're looking for better than average. And Guyton and BB, of course, rookies. You're not really looking too much. I mean, you would hope because they're starters that they would be performing better than that on at least the PFF scale.
Yeah.
But the eye test gives you a lot. It's been a lot better, I think, like just watching the game. And that doesn't mean that they're not failing at their duties. But personally, I feel like it seems like Dak has had the time to throw the ball. Where sometimes, last year, and maybe we'll experience it this game and later on, but it feels more or less that line is giving him the time to get the ball out.
Well, we had the big fella in Studes against the Steelers, and he kept saying, chip TJ Watt. And it didn't really seem like they had a plan to minimize TJ Watt. And you got to remember, the only reason the Cowboys started to pull ahead was because Herbig got hurt. Prior to that, the Cowboys offense couldn't do shit. Then Herbig got injured. Luckily, the Lions only have Hutchinson. They don't have that second dude, defensive end, that's going to wreak havoc. So I would like to see the Cowboys scheme up some chip blocks. Put Zeke Elliott in there to give Hutchinson some hits. Get Ferguson to stay in there for a second, or have have Schoonmaker, who's a bigger body, chip Hutchinson maybe. So I'd like to see them.
Scooney did lay out TJ Watt last
That's what
game.
I mean. I'd like to see a little bit more of that.
But you know what? I think because TJ Watt was such a force, I don't think we saw, I do think they did have a decent amount of chip and pass protection on TJ Watt specifically. I just think he's that guy.
But every play though, on the plays that he made when he forced the fumble, he just burned past Terrence Steele. I'm saying if you should put someone almost every single play to help block these premier defensive ends. I don't care if Ferguson gets taken out of the play for the first 2 or 3 seconds. You should be able to design something where he chip blocks Hutchinson and still can get out on a route pattern.
Or get motherfucking Lepke back there.
Or get Lepke out there to fucking block. Or just keep... There was times where TJ Watt was running free to hit Dak Prescott and Zeke's out doing a run into the flat. I'd rather Zeke just stay in there and block.
Yeah, don't have him there to run under the flat.
Another big thing that I'm kind of seeing here is Terrion Arnold, number 0 for the Lions, a 47 ranked, 98th of 101 cornerbacks. That looks like something that could be exposed. And their 2 starting cornerbacks, not the greatest, according to PFF. At least their nickel guys holding it down a little bit though.
And when I'm looking at this strictly based off of hydration levels on the PFF hydration level chart, I'm running the ball towards Houston and away from Hutchinson. I'm finding a way to get Tolbert open. I'm stunting them. I'm stunting them with Fergie. I'm stunting them with Fergie. I'm sending them, and then I'm sending Fergie out on a late route. I'm looking downfield. If he's not there, I'm pitching it to Ferguson, and then I'm just letting Lamb do what he's got to do. Lamb is now. It's past the expiration date of, okay, time to play some football, right? Like, I think we can all agree. I think we gave him a 1 mulligan game, but he's had 5 now.
But they stopped throwing to him. Like, they threw to him at the start of the game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and then they went away from him till the very...
I just can't see... Man,
I don't understand. He should be getting wrong. He should be getting 3 receptions a fucking quarter.
At least.
He only had 9 total targets on the last game.
Yeah, and I think 3...
most of them came in, like, the first half.
Yeah, like almost all of them.
Yeah,
I'd say 85 to 90%.
But that's been 2 games in a row now where they've
kind of disappeared.
Heavy in the first half or compare it, like... His throws were heavy to him in the first half, and in the second half,
he went on that crazy run last year, CeeDee Lamb I'm talking about, where he had 10 to 15 targets and even close to 10 receptions for 6-7 games in a row. So maybe it starts Sunday.
Well, this is why you also saw CeeDee Lamb say to Dak, jump ball. Like they all know, like Dak's probably like, I'm not going to throw to you. Double coverage. But
he wasn't on that play.
On that play, he wasn't. But I'm just saying in general, with CeeDee Lamb is going to be the number 1 target for their DBs and their safeties to make sure they protect. And that's where you have to have these other receivers come in and have routes that are actually going to clear and open up, or design those just as similar as you're going to design plays for taking out Aiden Hutchinson. You need to design these plays to get CeeDee Lamb the ball, that frequency that we're wanting. Right?
So look at this. He had his first 5 games last season.
He had one
game with over 10.
And then, he had 1 game with over 10, and then he had 2 games where he was over 100 yards, but he caught 7 out of 7 balls, which is, that's pretty awesome. But then his next 3 games, he really went to town.
Scroll up a bit too. Go start from Sunday, the 10:29. Like, look at this. Like, look at his targets.
Yeah.
From Sunday, from October 10th, 29th, 14, 16, 14, 9, 9, 17, 10, 10, 10, 17, 13. Those are the targets you want to see for CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, and those 2 games where he only got 9 targets, one was versus Carolina, the Cowboys were 133-10, and one was against Washington, the Cowboys won 45-10. So
Beatdowns.
I think it was just like,
yeah, you don't need it. You don't need it.
You probably didn't even play the fourth quarter in those games.
Right, exactly. But yeah, man, that's kind of the tail of the tape. CD needs to get, I say 12 targets, but from this, you could say 10, at least 10 targets.
And he can still make shit happen.
But yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm running the ball to Houston, away from Hutchinson, and I'm passing. I'm looking deep, and if it's not there, then I'm dishing it off to Ferguson, and I just rinse and repeat that. Or Rico Dowdle or whoever's in the backfield.
What's Rico's ranking?
Rico actually has a good one, 72.2,
okay.
25th ranked, so he's finally breached.
Get him the rock.
Finally, exactly. That's what it's all about at this point right now. The dust should be settled on who is the better player. We shouldn't be having the question marks now. It's like,
which we also called that at the start of the year. We wanted Rico to get his chance with the ball, and we even last year with Tony Pollard in the mix. If he can't do it, anyone can. we wanted Rico to get more touches even last season. It feels like we're always in this perpetual cycle where we want a certain running back to get more carries. This is Rico's chance. Let the guy run. Let Dowdle dawdle. Let him dawdle.
Let him dawdle. I'm gonna switch to Cowboys defense now. Nickel, Lions, 3 wide receivers. And here we go.
Look at their offense.
Here we go.
Looks nice.
Their offense is, they all drink water very, like as collectively, they all make sure they're all drinking, except for Goff.
Their offensive line looks good, though. Their running back looks juicy.
They're pretty balanced.
They're balanced.
Yeah, they're definitely a balanced looking offensive team on PFF.
For listening viewers, what is that?
For listening
oxymoron?
viewers in the ears.
Yeah, for the people that are listening with their ears but watching with their eyes, we're looking at the PFF rankings, and they do a color scheme, and the Lions' offensive line and offense altogether looks very balanced.
Yeah, I'll go across the line. Decker, 15th ranked tackle. Glasgow, 26th ranked guard. Ragnow, 9th ranked center. Zettler, 6th ranked guard, and Sewell, 6th ranked right tackle.
They got some dudes.
Tackle. This may be one of the strongest offensive lines in the league
seen so far.
That we've seen in the league. This is the Detroit Lions 4 games. They beat the Rams 26-20 on Sunday Night Football, week 1. They lost to the Buccaneers 20-16 in week 2. In week 3, they beat the Cardinals 20-13, and then they had that awesome game against the Seahawks before their bye, 42-29. They won. So, except for Seahawks, the Lions have not scored more than 20 points in a game,
Which is interesting.
It is, because personally, I don't think Laporte has gotten going to his full potential, and that could just be because he's in his second season. Is that just like
Sophomore slump a little bit?
Sophomore slump.
Well, Brent Packer guy says Rams suck, Bucks not great, Cards suck, then the Seahawks, eh?
Well, and the Seahawks,
I know.
The Seahawks did lose to the Giants.
Let me just say, it's when I think about who the Lions are in my mind, and then I look at their schedule here, I'm surprised they haven't put more points on the board against the teams that they've played.
They haven't cracked that 30 burger.
They didn't. Well, they did against Seahawks.
Except for the Seahawks.
They had a 40 burger.
But
they had a 40
burger. But before that, yeah. Didn't 2016-20. So maybe the recipe to this is just let the Lions play, let the Lions coach, and he's not going to put enough points on the board.
It's a race to 20 by the looks of it. Can we see what the Cowboys defense looks like as far as color coding? Oof.
Not good.
Oh my gosh.
So the only
That's great.
the only 2 hydrated players on this board right now are Jordan Lewis,
Who's played great.
He's played great, 18th ranked cornerback, and Golston, 36th ranked edge rusher.
Which that could be a little bit inflated because he's only played the one game.
Right, but he's got enough snaps, I guess, to get into the rankings. The 2 guys I want to look at here are Kendricks, and now Overshown is finally showing up as that linebacker. Before it was Clark. I think Overshown's definitely solidified himself.
Oh yeah, you're right. That's a good takeaway.
And
Overshown's kind of slotted himself in, which was bound to happen. Damone Clark just had not been doing much.
No, you're right, and it's about time. And this is the linebacker combo that I like to see. I think that it's a little underwhelming when you look at their scores here. 64.1, the 38th ranked for Kendricks, and then 61.1, 48th ranked for Overshown, 38th and 48th respectively. It feels, though, that they are definitely, the linebacker room is definitely much more improved in how they're performing on the field. So I'll take it.
I'll take this over LVE and Damone Clark any day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Kendricks and Schoen? Yeah,
like Kendricks, I'm sure in the game, it sometimes seems like I don't see him, but then he's on the stat sheet. He is out there making tackles. He's been the top 2 guys with tackles. He's just a little bit slow. But I'd still rather see a slow linebacker making a play within the first 5 yards than LVE chasing a guy 20 yards downfield.
Well, I'm just pulling up the defensive player stats here so we can have a quick look, Ski, because it's really nice to see that. Holy fuck, Eric Kendricks already has 52 total tackles.
That's what in 5 games. He's averaging over 10 a game.
That is
That's what I mean. He's been like the top guy every time we look at stats for tackles. So I don't really care what my eyeballs are seeing because he is making tackles.
yeah.
Like that, you
Well,
can't dispute that. And he has 2 sacks. Like he is at 2 TFLs, 2 sacks. Like
He's on pace for over 150 tackles.
he's on pace for 170 right now. If he right now he's averaging 10.2 a game.
Right.
So 10.2 times 17, that puts you at like 182 tackles in the season.
But then look at this. What if he finishes with 100 and let's just say this. I'm got 150 tackles, 6 sacks, 6 TFLs, 6 pass deflects, and 3 interceptions.
Oh yeah,
That's a fucking
that's like a
pretty psycho season for a linebacker.
For sure it is. And we've wanted this linebacker that can make tackles, and he is. He has 24 solo tackles. The only guy that has more is DeMarvion Overshone with 25. So
Which is awesome.
which is insane. So like you look at DeMarvion Overshone's 37 total tackles, 2/3 of those are solo, which is massive.
Yeah.
That's
which is almost just as
It's impressive.
Kendrick's at 52, 37 total with 25 of those being
it's massive.
solo tackles.
Well, yeah,
is
he's
almost
you're right. Overshone has the most solo tackles
Yeah.
on the team right
Which
now.
is you like to see that. Like I'd rather it's solo tackles are a big thing. You know what else is a big thing?
We get it.
Crack.
if you got
Crack 'em.
So-
if you got 'em.
Crack
You
'em
had
if
the
you got
crack 'em.
em.
If you got 'em.
Hey, crack 'em
Crack
if
'em
you
if you
got
got
'em.
em.
Brought to you by Drip. That's
Drip.
with 2 R's, vodka, hard seltzer.
2 R's and double the flavor.
2 R's and double the fun.
Double the fun. But you mentioned the message from our boy TGR, who, by the way, made a very emotional video after.
I cried. I
after
cried
that
at work
one.
watching it.
It was beautiful, and we love you here, TGR. But TGR put we don't have to go back because I kind of remember. He put his starting 5 that he would put in this week,
Mhm.
and it was Tyler Smith on the left side.
Yep.
Who's in the
TJ Bass.
Bass.
Hold the play the piece the Bass.
Bass.
Bass, BB, or Bass, yeah, BB, Zach Martin, and then Guyton on the right side.
Which he played in
which he
college.
could, I'm sure he could do. And that's a question that's something we can unwrap itself. But my question was leading to, we did see Guyton exit the game early, as we also saw Marshawn Nealon, who seems he's not going to be put on IR, but he
No, he is. He got put on
He got
IR.
he
put on
did.
IR.
Okay, so he is gonna. He
But it
he had surgery. It was like
it's
a
not
mild.
but it's not his ACL. It's
Right.
like a meniscus. It's a meniscus.
So he's out 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, like
unfortunately.
he's got. But
Tyler.
he'll be back, son.
He'll be back. But our guy, Tyler Guyton, has a good chance to play against Detroit if you think that you can trust anything that the Jerry Jones family says.
That's the issue.
That's the issue. I you know me, I jumped off the boat. I'm swimming in the sea by myself right now. I'm not getting back on the yacht, Jerry. And
You abandoned ship.
I abandoned ship, and I just don't believe it. Like, that injury to me, and he's a big boy. I don't know. I'd rather go
He did
with...
walk though.
He did walk for sure, but I'd rather, if he's not 100%, or if there's like any sort of risk of, yes, if it's soreness, okay, if the dude's tough enough, he'll play through it. That's fine. But if there's questionable damage, as in he goes out there and in 3 plays his knee's gonna pop like fucking RG3,
RG
RG, let him hang out on. Let him skip this game, because I'd love to see kicking Guyton out there and see what that can do. I know people. There's an argument against it. I don't really care. I think you have to have your best player in that left tackle position, and if that does turn out to be Smith,
Tyler Smith.
Tyler Smith, and that's the best setup that we have.
Tyler Smith.
Tyler Smith, because arguably, when you have someone like, if Bass was playing the left guard and he actually didn't do too bad, then like there is more support at that left guard than the left tackle. The left tackle, you're kind of left out on that island by yourself.
It's like, where are your riches? That's what you got. That's what I'm saying. Where are your riches?
Right.
And you got to make sure that you
But I think
utilize them.
I think on the sheet I saw Bland had a full participation in practice today, and so did Tyler Guyton
on the injury
on that
report?
injury report.
The Wednesday.
the white stat sheet that you see. I could be wrong. I sometimes
hey.
am wrong.
We're going to harass you if you were wrong.
Yeah, you can do that.
I got
So
it right
you better
here.
hope, for the sake of everything true.
There it is, right there.
And this is Blogging the Boys. You know how we do. Shout
How
out to
we
Blogging
do,
the
baby.
Boys.
How we do.
Without Blogging the Boys,
Oh,
we'd have-
AB was right, bitch.
without Blogging the Boys, we'd have 30% less content. So
You sure seemed sure of yourself too.
But yeah,
well, every time I question myself when I'm right, because you read a lot of stuff all day, and I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm pretty
true.
sure I saw his fucking name.
That's true.
but you're right. Bland had a full practice in the limited practice today. Kalen Carson back to full workload.
So
And
you're getting two cornerbacks. Locomotive Bland.
we gotta disconnect.
And then
Why'd you almost talk Motive Bland?
I almost talked about Bland. I was just questioning him. I just said, "Oh, but Bland, like, how come?" I just asked him a question. How come? And then he said Diggs, and then he walked upstairs, and I was like, "Buddy, if you want Bland," I said, "Bland's a great player. Like, get Bland." He's like, "Yeah, I want Bland." I was like, "Okay, sweet, get Bland."
I can't believe you tried to crush
I
your
wish
sentence, man.
Riker would have been like, oh, weird. I want the jersey of a guy that holds the record for most interception return touchdowns in NFL history.
No,
Dad, you fucking idiot.
my son's not an a-hole like my younger brother, so that's why he didn't say that.
But Deron Bland, I mean, you can't go wrong with either of those guys.
No.
Diggs is a great jersey, but Bland's Bland, man.
No, we all went overshown.
I had to get an overshown. I wasn't going to.
Did you
when
go
he-
out overshown?
we all got
I
overshown.
once I saw you guys both get overshown, I was like, okay.
I
I'll
was
get myself
going.
an
I was
overshown as
going
well.
to last year because he was 35. Then he got hurt. Then he went to 13. I was like, oh,
I don't like 13.
I don't like
to
the
be
number
honest.
13. But then I watched him play. I'm like, he's to me is just a dude, a guy. He's the type of player that I want to rep.
I want to see him on the Cowboys for years to come, and that's why I got the jersey. Did I get Guyton as well?
You got Guyton.
I got
might-
Guyton as well.
I might not even wear a Cowboys jersey in studio until my overshown gets here.
That's fair.
Anth got
Unless someone
over-
shows up and was worthy of you donning it.
Oh,
don't know,
overshown was.
Yeah, overshown.
Anth got overshown in Bebe. You
I
got
got BB.
You got Guyton, Dak, and overshown.
Oh yeah, because you got that sweet black jersey.
I got Fergalicious,
Nice.
Aubrey, and overshown.
That's a good set right there.
Aubrey's good.
Aubrey's good.
That's a good trip.
That fucking
European fuck.
Uh,
He's from He's from Texas.
Yeah.
He's from
Do you want to shoot to chat and then we can get into the 10 storylines?
Yeah,
or
just
what?
before I shoot to chat, I just wanted to say to you guys, like, it's so crazy that the Cowboys are looked at as the underdogs for this game.
I like it.
What's another underdog that y'all know?
I see what you're doing.
Yeah, you know what I realized? We've never ran one of those at a main event, so I don't even have it queued up. So keep talking. I'm gonna get it.
I
shit,
thought it was
see.
running.
Okay.
Oh, AJ still didn't know what you
I
were
still was like, I was fine. I was like, are you bringing on a guest? Is a guest coming on?
Oh,
As soon
fuck.
as you said underdog, I was like, okay, we're in the ad.
Well, you know what? While you pull that up, we can just go through and pick our thing.
You know what's weird? We've never ran it during.
Because we just ran ours live.
Yeah, and then I'll edit it for the other ones.
Do you want to get that? Grab that?
I'm doing it right now.
Okay, so we're gonna
Just
quick cut.
keep chatting.
Oh shit. Okay.
I got to add it right now.
All right. Well, anyways, last thing to say here about Tyler Guyton is if he's back and ready to play, bring him in. I'm not trying to say, I want to shift things up. I'm just saying if he is in a position where
there's any question,
just keep him out and let's see what we can do with our other guys. Because
you got the bye week next week after,
exactly,
right?
Exactly.
Granted, I would love to lay the smackdown on the Lions.
Well, maybe
and
that
get to 4-2. It is important, but losing him for the rest of the season would also be terrible.
Well, that's the thing. If he can play this game through soreness and be even more sore, but then we get that bye week, it makes sense to play him, right? I don't know what that. It's just for me. Whenever I see a big guy like Guyton, and it comes down to knees, it's like that's gotta be fragile. Because all I did was lay on my. I kneeled on my right knee too long, and it's fucking been
you
sore
out.
for 2 days. Okay.
AJ, can we go to PFF? Actually, I want to see a guy that we wanted to take with the Cowboys pick at 25, or sorry, at 24. We wanted to take Graham Barton. I want to see what's his PFF ranking right now, because he's a dude that I thought the Cowboys were going to take at 24.
He's got a thick ass neck, I tell you that. So here's his
Doesn't look
ranking.
terrible.
Not terrible. He's overall 58, pass blocking of 60.2, and run blocking of 58.
And just so you know, the Lions, with the 24th pick that they traded up to grab from the Dallas Cowboys, they took dehydrated boy Terry and Arnold that we saw on PFF.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Their red wide receiver or red cornerback. That's who the Lions took with the Cowboys pick that they traded up for. That's a little side story. That's brought to you by our
This
draft
Arnold
board
here.
still.
And here's something else that's brought to you by...
We are back to the greatest time of year again. It is the NFL football season, and it's here to stay until February.
Yes.
Over 1 million fans across 33 states got in the game last year by making picks on Underdog.
And you can win up to 1,000 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on your favorite player stats. Examples could be touchdown, passing yards, and more.
Woo!
Dak Prescott being that new, freshly signed, highest paid quarterback for the NFL and the Dallas Cowboys, I got to take him for the higher on passing yards.
Absolutely. And look, when I'm looking at our Cowboys here, you know I'm going to be taking that CeeDee Lamb multiplier because the boy is just here to play and he's here to stay. Get used to it.
And myself, I'm going to be looking at you two to help fashion my underdog picks for the week.
Take the higher.
Take
Or
the
the-
lower.
I want the higher.
Take what you want, but you gotta play Underdog Fantasy.
Making picks on Underdog is straightforward and signing up is even easier. You just have to head over to Underdog's simple to use mobile app or underdogfantasy.com, sign up with promo code CANFAN, and Underdog will give you a free pick to use your first cash pick'em entry plus up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you deposit. That's Underdog Fantasy promo code CANFAN to claim your new customer special of a free pick and your deposit offer. You must be 18 years or older, 19 plus in Alabama or New England, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Massachusetts and Arizona, and present in state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER. That's 1-800-GAMBLER. Or visit www.ncpgambling.org. For Arizona, it's 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
Text next step to 53342. New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY to 467-369.
Anyways, appreciate y'all. This is Underdog Fantasy Sports.com.
And
code
back to
CanFan.
our original programming.
We are back.
We are back.
And this is actually us in real life right now.
I was going to say one time we need to have it where it comes back and we're either all in different seats or all like topless.
Oh, that would have been funny. Oh, that would have been funny.
All right, well,
Or
should we?
pantless, whatever.
We're gonna do our live picks right now. Unfortunately for us,
Haven't won yet.
haven't won yet, but that doesn't matter.
Have we had fun doing it?
We're having fun
We've
doing
had fun
it.
doing this. Is on Underdog Sports Baby Fantasy where you get to pick some higher, lower stuff. It's a really good time.
Highs and lows, highs and lows.
Boots said your commercial was interrupted by another commercial.
Hey,
Guys,
damn,
there's
we gotta
a,
watch that when it pops
yeah,
up.
there's a lot of YouTube stuff that gets added in that we just don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know. Hey, man.
I don't know. I don't
That's how
know.
we
know.
Can fans
Hey.
fucking a media corporation now.
Sellouts.
Right now, if you go on Underdog, you get a 31% boost for your NHL entries, and 50% boost for your MLB entries. We don't watch either of those sports,
we can't do either.
but you have 7 hours and 30 minutes left to go and get those. Those boosts can really change your day. But we're going to look at the Dallas Cowboys here, as we do. Going to make our picks. Ants, can you see?
Yeah, we got Dak Prescott higher, lower for 279.5 passing yards. What are you guys feeling?
I'm feeling that Dak is probably going to beat this 1.5. It's not a good multiplier.
That's why though. We need to go with that. We got to go with the with the low multiplier because we have a better chance of it actually hitting.
But
Yeah.
then there's this 0.5 rush.
He's not rushing it. He's not rushing.
But it's rush or reception. Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
I
okay.
think higher on the 1.5.
Okay, boosh. We got it.
And
We
I think
boosted in
I think CeeDee Lamb on the higher as well.
of rushing or
He's
reception.
got it,
receiving.
man. He's due for a touchdown. I
Okay.
completely agree with that.
Now
we got to do a Lions one, but
now
it's,
we gotta-
it's giving us an error though.
Yeah,
Your
'cause I-
Prescott pick is impacting this selection.
because I have to go over here to the Lions now. Once we pick it, it's going to show up. So I would say, if anything.
So right now we're looking at the Detroit Lions. We have to pick a higher or lower selection on passing touchdowns or receptions or rushing or receiving yards.
What about Aiden Hutchinson if he's on here? He's not.
Looks like it's just offensive.
Just offensive.
What about, guys, hear me out here. Amon-Ra St. Brown, longest reception, 22.5.
Higher?
I think so, man.
I think he's gonna. I think there's a good chance
in
that
the
he's
middle of
gonna
the
have
field. He could have a 30 or 40-yard catch.
20. All he needs is 23.
Yeah, I think that's a good one, man.
Higher?
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
Oh, hang on. Lock picks must be resolved. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to turn this off. So, anyways, this is our pick. We're gonna put $10 on it.
What's it give us?
It's gonna give us 58.40. Not our best payout, but we're playing it safer because we want that victory.
We need a victory. We need a moral victory.
We need a moral victory.
All right, lock it in.
Lock it in. Dak Prescott higher than 1.5 touchdowns. CeeDee Lamb higher than 0.5 rush or reception. So get us a touchdown. You can't get a half touchdown. And then Amon St. Brown higher for his longest reception, 22.5 yards. Just
boosh it in there.
Boosh it in. Boosh it in, but you just can't go off the screen because it's gonna.
Yeah, well, I'll
I
go
have
off
to
the screen.
reset
Make
this.
sure you call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Okay, let's look at some top 10 storylines, baby.
Okay, I'll pop this over here.
So we
Top
got,
10
like we've been
storylines.
babbling about.
And I forgot to tell you that guy's Boots is in the chat.
Boots, what's up, dog?
On the ground.
Boots says he thinks Trevon Diggs is going to have his best game against superstar wide receivers. He always will lock him up.
Uh-oh, that's not good for our selection.
I know. That's why he was trying to tell us not to, but whatevsies.
So now we're going to look at, there's 10 storylines, and it's getting written down by Nick Eat 'em Out Eatman, our number one guy at DallasCowboys.com. We did this last week for the first time with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I thought it was a fun little thing. We each take one of the blurps, we read it, and then we react.
It's great.
Just like YouTubers.
Blurb 'em if you squirp them.
It's great. And if you love to be eaten out or you love the Dallas Cowboys, you got to go follow Nick Eat Me Out Eatman.
At I Eat Puss.
We joke, and I hope when we do meet Nick Eat Me Out Eatman, he's going to be like, hey
guys.
you guys crown me with Eat Me Out. You know how much puss I got from that?
You know,
Oh, that's disgusting.
if we ever do meet Nick Eat Me Out Eatman, I'm gonna have a very hard time not telling him that we call him.
We are telling him, and we got to get it on video. I'll go first here. Just to see a Brent Packer guys taking off. He's gonna bounce. He's saying, "See you later, guys."
Miss you already, Brent Packer guy. Make sure you come back for tomorrow's game, dude.
Yep, that's right. We are live streaming tomorrow night's game. And bandwagon
For the
Bob.
last time, anything you put on that prompter, BWB1 will read.
Okay,
right.
just getting us prepped,
Okay.
oiled up.
Lions off to a 3-1 start. The Lions made it to the NFC Championship game last year for the first time since 1991. But despite disappointing second half collapse in that game and a missed trip to the first ever Super Bowl, there's been no hangover in 2024. The Lions are 3-1 and are coming off a bye week, giving them 2 weeks to prepare for the anticipated battle with them Cowboys.
Is it bad that after we kind of read through their scores, I'm not at like they've only scored over 20 points one time?
I know it.
That made it feel
Didn't that kind
a
of
little
bring
less
things back a little. Like, not to say that the Lions offense. That's why I say the Lions offense has a high potential. Laporta's been off to a slower start than than what I know that he can get.
Same with Amon-Ra.
Same with Amon-Ra.
And Goff, you saw him. He was the only yellow, dehydrated, not fucking drinking water guy on their team. So
because he likes to party.
Okay, still bitter from last year. Lions head coach.
But, hey, sorry, one last thing about this 3-for-1 in the bye week is the bye. Sure, they had 2 weeks, but it's literally a different Cowboys team that they are going to be seeing because of the injury. So
fuck your bye.
Fuck your bye.
Fuck your bye,
bitch.
Lions. Still bitter from last year. Lions head coach Dan Campbell, a former Cowboys tight end, said he still has the controlled fury inside him that stems from last year's controversial loss to the Cowboys back in December.
No controversy. No controversy.
The guy didn't fucking tell the offense to.
You tried to get cute.
He tried to get cute.
Hey. That's all I got to say.
That's all we got to say. The Lions lost 2019, but had a 2-point conversion called back for an illegal procedure penalty due to a player failing to properly report to the officials. The Cowboys ultimately won the game. but the Lions finished as the number 3 seed in the playoffs, and still went to the NFC Championship game for the first time in 32 years. Again, back to that game last year. They had 3 chances on the 2-point conversion.
Yes.
And didn't get it. They had 3 chances.
One
over it.
They got a penalty on.
They got a penalty on this alone. Dan Campbell thinking of that game still and still being fired up from it. Ball's in our court, baby.
Yeah, ball's in our court because I think us coming off of a moral win, a fucking tough roadie win from last week is a better momentum coming into this game than seeded anger from last year, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, and look, let him be better. Let him make decisions made out of aggression and emotional decisions. And you know Mike McCarthy has no emotion except for if he's in that Whataburger line and you put a tomato on his burger. He will get emotional.
Mike will kill you.
It's not just a hamburger, it's a Whataburger!
I fucked that up, sorry.
That's okay.
Lions, 1-2 rushing attack. Do you think the Lions might run the ball this week? The Cowboys have showed an improved run defense the last 2 games, but still ranked 24th in the NFL, allowing 135 yards per game. But the Lions are 6th in the league in rushing at 151.3 yards per game. And they're the only team in the NFL with 2 running backs in the top 20 in rushing. In Jamar Gibbs, 285 yards, and David Montgomery, 271 yards.
Hey, they're doing it, man. The Lions rushing attacks, no joke. And they do have a 1-2 punch. And with 150 yards per game and the Cowboys allowing 135 yards a game, it's saying...
Bad recipe.
Yeah, it's saying that they got a chance to do what they do.
But, like I said, I don't think that those numbers are true for the defense that we've seen the last 2 weeks. Now, the Lions are definitely have one of the more scary rushing attacks as well as just offenses in the NFL. But that 135, I think, let's cut it down a little. And hey, if the Lions rush for only 140 yards, I'd be pretty fucking happy.
Less than their average.
Goff the charts.
Hey, look what they did there. You see what they did there?
The Lions.
Eat me out,
Eat me out, you son of a bitch.
You sly dog.
The Lions Q had a memorable game in his last outing, throwing what has been dubbed a perfect game.
16. Hold the phone here.
But
it was 16 passes.
It was.
I'm not getting mad at you, Ad, but a perfect game. It wasn't even 20 fucking completions.
Mom?
It was 16. It was 16. Like it was 16 throws. Like let's ease it on this perfect game. A perfect game is 35. I'd say 35 for 38 and 4 touchdowns. That's a more perfect game than 16 for 16.
Well, by NFL standards, he had a perfect game.
He was Goff the charts.
He was a perfect 16 of 16, like Anth attested to, with 292 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he even caught a touchdown pass from his teammate Amon-Ra St. Brown on a trick play.
That's more impressive than the 16 for 16 in my mind.
Jared, eat me out, Goff.
G me off, Goff.
Jared, wish version Ryan Gosling is the only player in NFL history to throw multiple touchdowns, have a perfect completion percentage, and also catch a TD in the same game while looking like a made-for-TV movie Hallmark quarterback.
Well, it is true. Those are kind of college-y-esque numbers where you pull the QB after the second quarter because they're just already up 35 points and there's no reason to keep them on the field. That's what those numbers look like to me.
I mean,
but it's impressive.
292 on 16 completions is
good.
Is
Yep.
good.
That's wild.
Like that's pretty good.
But you know what? Look, if he comes out and does that against the Cowboys, we might have a hard time keeping pace with this team.
And we might win our Underdog Sports selection because I imagine Amon-Ra is getting a 22.5 reception.
That's right.
We do want that pick'em entry, but
All
not
right.
at the cost of the Cowboys losing.
Hutchinson, even though the Lions are one of the few teams that have had their bye week, Aiden Hutchinson is still the NFL leader in sacks with 6.5 this season. He's only played 4 games. A lot of the NFL's played 5. The number 2 overall pick in 2022 had a monster game against the Bucks back in week 2, recording 4.5 sacks. But so he had 4.5 sacks against the Bucks.
So
in the other
feels
3
inflated.
games,
Yeah, feels inflated.
his other 3 games, he's had 2.
That's but that's the thing about Hutchinson is
He's a feast of famine.
That's what I meant. Like if he finds a way to beat someone, he will do it consistently.
Put Lupin Lepke on.
So you have to have a spoil of riches on the O-line, or bring in Zeke more and
chip him.
And chip him. Like as much as Chris was saying it last game, I think it means even more this game because Hutchinson will expose that hole, and he will, like you can see, he did it to the Cowboys last year with 3 sacks and had just a 4 TFLs, 5 QB pressures. And then in this week 2 game, 4.5 sacks. So you got to do whatever you can to lock it down. Lock down protection on Hutchinson.
Lock it down.
On Hutchinson.
But G says, don't forget Goff was a defensive liability, and remember the Titans.
Yeah, he was. Linebacker. Terrible linebacker.
Disgusting.
There we go, bro.
I got you.
Oh, okay.
Oh my goodness.
Eat me out.
Eat me out is saucy today.
You sauced me up.
Okay.
You sauced me up with this one.
For sure, this is what Eat Me Out was like when he was coming to this this storyline. Oh, I got one right here.
He's licking his fingers even though he's typing.
Yeah.
Bland.
Here it is. And this is the line. Getting the Bland back together.
Oh.
Hey, come in here.
Nailed it.
Look at this headline. For the first time this season, quarterback Deron Bland could have a shot to play at least some limited snaps.
Is Nick just laughing to himself in his office again?
He's loving it. Yeah. Bland has missed the first 5 games due to a stress fracture. He's one of the several key players that have missed time for the Cowboys this year. Despite the injuries, the Cowboys have managed to win 2 straight games on the road to get to 3-2. Oddly enough, the Cowboys are 3-0 on the road and 0-2 at home, where they face the Lions coming to town on Sunday. It's unlikely they will get Parsons' ankle back for this game, but it's still early in the week. Probably not Parsons. I'm even doubting Bland, but if he does show up, throw him in the mix.
Full participation on Wednesday, though.
He fucking
that's what I mean. Like,
And I think this was written before that happened.
look, he's coming off my IR list in fantasy. I'm gonna dress him. The Knights are gonna dress him in our one league.
That's like the kiss of death if the Knights are dressing him.
Should I keep him off the bench then?
No, you got to put him.
I got to put him in.
Yeah.
this is my test. I'm going into the shower when Bland's showering. I'm grabbing his stress fracture and I'm just giving it a shake, kind of shaking it around.
You're like, hey, you passed.
You fast. Why are you in? Why did you do this in the shower?
Why did you?
Hey, I need you in your most vulnerable moment.
When your guards are down. Finding RB1 question mark.
Ribby.
Oh, Ribby 1. It looks like the Cowboys might have
Is
settled
that a
the
new
running.
Star Wars?
Ribby?
Finding
RB1. Finding RB1, it could be. But it does look like the Cowboys might have settled the running back position for now in the form of Rico Dowdle. He had a carry high. He had a carry high. He had a career high 87 rushing yards and added a touchdown catch for the second straight game. The Cowboys still have Ezekiel Elliott as the backup, but last week, Deuce Vaughn was inactive and Dalvin Cooks remains on the practice squad. Fullback H-Train Hunter Lepke continues to have a bigger role in the offense as well.
I want to see Lepke keep getting more catches, man. I really do.
Make me regret not ordering that Lepke jersey.
Keep giving it away.
You
don't say ordering. You had a.
I did.
You gave it away at AT&T last Thanksgiving,
and it was our first round selection for the giveaway as well.
It was the first pick.
So
you know what? That was for the people. We did that for the people.
And I still have to pay my debt at some point.
Oh
yeah,
hey.
Red ass.
Yeah, red ass at some point.
We're getting you in San Francisco.
Okay, fair enough.
Ooh, in the San Fran Sun.
Yeah, San Francisco.
All I have to say is, the Deuce Vaughn project's over. Let's move on from it, please.
Yep.
Bring in Cooks, but don't prioritize them.
Just give him a couple carries a game and see if he has
see what happens. Prioritize Rico Dowdle, and absolutely agree.
I want 80% of the touches going to Rico right now.
Absolutely.
Especially coming off that game he just had.
And let's see what Hunter can do.
Yeah.
What are you doing here, Uncle Rico?
So we talked about this earlier, but we got shuffling the O-line. The Cowboys lost starting left tackle Tyler Guyton in the middle of the game Sunday in Pittsburgh to a knee injury, which he did walk off on his own. It forced them to move Tyler Smith from guard to tackle and replaced by TJ Bass. The offense actually moved the ball a lot better as the game went on with that scenario. While it appears Guyton has a shot to return to action this week, the Cowboys might be inclined to keep Smith at left tackle and use Bass inside. Guyton has struggled at times in this year, as we've seen by his PFF, leading the team with 9 penalties called.
Again,
9 penalties in 5 games. That's a 1.8 a game.
Still very unfair because you're putting your first round guy against a lot of veteran
that is true.
who are going to.
But that's what hey man.
Who are going to be. And we wanted him to get battle tested, and we've seen what he's produced. But I mean, like, So actually moving him over to the right tackle position and putting him up against Aiden Hutchinson is like, we've already went against all these other dudes. Fucking man up, Guyton.
Yeah, you little punk.
Honestly, if he like, it depends when those penalties are. If they're on kind of non high intensity players or non whatever you want to call it, like 1st and 10. Okay, shit. Now we're 1st and 20, which or whatever. That sucks, but it's better than a 3rd and 1. We make the first down and then you get called. And I also wonder if Nick Eat Me Out Eatman has the name for TJ Bass. TJ Eat My Bass.
Bass me out, Bass.
Bass me out, Bass.
No end to injuries. Is this me?
Yeah, that's you.
Okay. Every week, the Cowboys seem to get some kind of bad news regarding the defensive end position. This week, after losing both Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence to injuries, the Cowboys see rookie Marshawn Nealand go down early with a knee injury. And also don't forget about Sammy Dobbs. He is expected to miss significant time, perhaps as much as 6 weeks. The Cowboys continue to get hit by injuries here, but manage to generate some pressure in Pittsburgh using the likes of Carl Larson, Chauncey Golston, and Tyrus Wheaton. Chauncey, God love that dude. He's been on the team since since CanFan started rolling. Since the train started rolling. He doesn't get the love that he needs, but he plays.
The defensive line was probably the most surprising thing, which we didn't talk about a crazy amount on our hangover. We talked about a little bit how the defensive run game looked decent, but just the defensive line as a whole with the injuries they've had, they've looked pretty decent.
I mean, Tyrus Wheat, like, where did he come from? I thought he held his own, and then Golston came in there, and he was a bit of a dog on a couple plays, which you like to see.
Tyrus Wheat was kind of like the Uruk-hai in Lord of the Rings. They dug him up. Outside of AT&T, they dug him up.
Tyrus Wheat has came on the team last season.
Yep.
And he's only been a Dallas Cowboys, so...
He's kind of just he has kind of been there, and again, is it one of those situations where he just hasn't had that opportunity, that chance?
He will be known as Uruk-hai from now on.
Uruk-hai? Oh, okay. You're a guy. Uruk-hai.
Uruk-hai, receiving end.
So receiving end, don't you fucking dare try to take my fucking. Don't go back to back. Receiving end, the Cowboys might have found their number 2 receiver at least for now with Brandon Cooks in brackets knee on IR, but Jalen Tolbert, or as we've come to know him. But JT had the game of his life against the Steelers, catching the game-winning touchdown.
How did you come up with that nickname?
Yeah, where'd that nickname?
Well,
how did
no one calls him Tolby.
No, but JT, how did they come up with that?
I don't know, dude. Maybe he likes to listen to a lot of Justin Timberlake.
I bet.
So he caught the game-winning touchdown in the final seconds to go along with his career highs with 7 catches for 87 yards, which I will say, in the middle of this, when you look at the sounds of the sideline and CD comes up to congratulate him on him, there almost looked like there was a little bit of
he's like, don't fucking touch me.
Yeah, there was a little disappointment in CeeDee Lamb's face, I felt. But anyways, maybe I'm trying to create some sort of controversy. The Cowboys also got some downfield play from Kevontae Turpin, who also asked to use his speed, who will be asked to use his speed to replace Cooks. Another issue at receiver is the second half disappearance of CeeDee Lamb this year.
Talked about it.
Yep. He has 4 catches for 25 yards combined in the second half.
Wow.
Whoa.
That's an underline.
Hey,
4 catches.
CanFan didn't have the stats, but we knew.
We knew it. We eyeball
it.
tested. But I'll just for our audio listeners who are visually listening to this, he has 4 catches for 25 yards combined in the second half of 5 games this year.
That's crazy.
OMG.
That might be the craziest stat I've seen so far about the Cowboys this year.
Now, it's definitely not because they've been up and the Cowboys said, okay, we don't need to throw to CD anymore.
You think
you'd accelerate it? You think you'd accelerate it?
Like that Ravens game and stuff, because he was doing decent. Yeah, that's a wild stat and something that we need to watch going forward.
I don't like that.
We absolutely will watch going forward. But I love doing these top 10 because first of all, it gives us all a nice little...
Thank you, Eat Me Out.
Thanks, Eat Me Out.
Appreciate it, Eat Me Out. But it also adds some flavor to what we've... Because when you come to CanFan, what you're going to get is a bunch of... We have these thoughts. We're a little bit of a precog in that way. We're going to give you some thoughts, but you got to find the stats. And when Nick Eat Me Out Eatman comes with the stats that
serves them
confirm
up for us.
what we were saying. Love it.
Love it.
And Nick, I'll be your eat me out, eat man any day, my dude.
Any day of the week.
Okay, power rankings.
Power rankings, baby.
What were we last week? 16?
Well, this is the thing.
They were high.
If you don't remember, you don't, and I don't remember
We
either.
guessed it. One of us guessed it.
It was
And
17.
We said 11, 13. Yeah, it was
15 or
11. We
17.
said it was 17 because one of us went 11, one of us went 13, one of us went 15. But it went with the pattern. It was 17.
Okay, I'm going to start. They're number 10 this week.
Okay.
I think they go up 7 spots from a gritty road win against a very tough Steelers defense.
I'm going 12, man. I'm going 12 because I never feel like these
5 is a big jump.
seven's
Seven's
a huge
It's
jump.
a huge jump.
Who's going
We
to
gotta think who's
eat me
dropping
out if I get
down.
it?
I'm going 12 just because I do believe they deserve to be up in the top 15. 12 might even be too high, but it
No
just
fucking way.
it
They're at
feel-
least minimum. They're going up 4 for sure.
Well, I'm going 12.
I went 7 up.
I went up 5 to 12.
The ball's in your court.
10, 12?
The ball's in your
AJ's
court.
doing
AJ.
14 just because that's our pattern.
I'm gonna go 13 just to
13,
throw off
overshown.
the pattern, but I
Okay.
do think it's we're gonna see right now. Let's just get into it.
Oh, here. Sorry. Let me bring it up.
You didn't have it up?
NFL
You didn't
power
have Eric
rankings.
Edholm's stupid face up?
Eric Stupid at Holmes. NFL Power Rankings Week 6. Falcons and Broncos fly up the board. Well, 49ers and Jets plummet. So that doesn't help.
you go.
That is not fair for my up 7. Because
I like that he didn't give anybody's spot.
But
Yeah.
Falcons and Broncos fly up the board. I would assume he would say Cowboys breach the top 10. Cowboys fly up the board because we just moved up 7 spots. So I think I'm out, but I'm still sitting strong at 10. Go ahead, AJ.
Well, he released this on October 8th and then updated it on October 9th.
changed his mind.
So he fucking changed
Eric,
his mind.
you mind changed son of a bitch.
You redacted son of a bitch.
Casey at 1. Just let's see him.
Minnesota Vikings. Unchanged.
I said that last week.
Minnesota Vikings, nothing changed. They're still at number 1.
Kansas City at 2, unchanged.
KC at 2, 5-0 at 2 and unchanged. I'm just gonna say.
Was that
everything
3
you say.
Ravens?
Yeah, no, the Ravens won't be at 3 yet. They're going to be at like 5.
Well, then who's number 3?
Lions.
The Detroit Lions.
That's who we're coming.
Ooh, and
Bring it on.
We're coming for them unchanged. Lions were at 3 last week.
What
We're
a
coming
fucking-
for
What?
you.
With only scoring 1 game above 20 points?
Yeah, what a fucking lame list.
We're coming
outta
for you.
here.
We're
You-
coming for you, you stupid blue Lions.
Houston Texans.
up
Number
1
4.
to 4. So not much changing.
Respectable.
Not much changing in this top 10. The Ravens up 1.
Oh, and Collins is on IR, so, Ravens up 1, ranked number 5.
Respect.
Commanders.
Look at this. Commanders. The 4-1 Washington Commanders ranked 6, up 1 spot this week.
Yikes.
They're the team to beat. Jaden Daniels is the rookie MVP of the year.
Well,
That's
so
going to
far
be a
it's-
fun game.
But so far he is.
Those 2 games are
We-
going to be a fun game.
We joke about it, but right now they are the
I have
surprise.
to fucking
Yep.
joke about it.
We have to feel good.
Hey, but it's stop them from scoring and
So-
you can beat the Commanders.
So they play
just-
against the Ravens this weekend.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Buffalo Bills down 3 to
Yeah.
rank
How-
7.
They are so kind to the 3-2 Buffalo Bills who could score only 10 points against the fucking Ravens.
And then have an I can't even read.
An ultimatum.
Yeah.
ultimately resulting in a last-second loss. Fuck
I see.
the Bills.
I was reading it like
This still made it a game to
Green
show.
Bay somehow.
Green Bay
Okay, here we go.
up 1 to 8.
Get in my trajectory.
You're not hitting 10. Tampa Bay down 1 to
Well,
9.
hey, there's other 3-2 teams that
Big-
are in the top 10.
Crazy storm happening in Tampa Bay right
Yeah,
now.
Yeah.
I wonder if Mike
Shout
Tagg's out in Tampa Bay, right?
Oh,
He was traveling away.
I did see a video Mike Tagg put up, and it looked. I don't know where it was exactly, but I don't know if this was his home or not. But it was like,
Ready for the hurricane.
oh yeah, there was there was a lot of rain coming in.
Shit.
So
a million people without power.
hope everyone's
in
safe
right
there. Hope everyone's safe.
Shout out to Mike Tagg, our Florida boy.
It's the government.
Yeah.
The government's creating these hurricanes.
So number 10,
Pittsburgh Steelers. What
who
the
they
fuck?
stayed at 10.
now. They stayed at 10, but they lost.
Cowboys at 11. Yeah. What?
Oh!
What? Up 2?
Up
The
to
2-2 shitty Eagles.
They went up 2 on their bye week?
like how is that possible?
What did I pick? I
Even with
picked
the
12.
last minute home loss to the Falcons, I think it would have to be fair to say that the Eagles showed more good than bad through games.
I hate
4
that.
games in, not so much. Fuck you.
Get rid of these bitches. Up
Falcons.
7.
Okay, so they did go up. So he does give people up 7.
Not the
Not
Cowboys.
often, though.
Not the Cowboys.
So
But I guess this year we're seeing
I had 12.
differences.
AJ had 13.
It's going to be AJ.
Oh! All right. Well, you
Up
got it.
4, Dallas Cowboys.
And
I fucking said they got to go at least up 4. Fuck.
With the weather delay
Idiot.
and all the mistakes the Cowboys made along the way, I figured there was no way the football gods would let Dallas win on Sunday night. But the Cowboys somehow found a way to complete their fucking this stupid word.
Sisyphean challenge.
Sisyphean challenge on 4th down in Pittsburgh. They won't win. You just read it then.
I was just gonna.
They won't win too many more games where they turn it over twice in the red zone, have a field goal blocked, lose a challenge, and have potential takeaways slide through their grasp.
Very true.
But on the flip side, winning a game without Micah Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence, and Brandon Cooks, and then losing Marshawn Nealon and Tyler Guyton mid-game also deserved proper due. The end result is what matters most, and the Cowboys eked out a road win against a tough team in less than ideal conditions. AJ finishes off.
It's either a rallying point or mirage victory.
Well, what do you guys think?
Tell.
What do you guys think?
I think he's fucking sucks dick.
Rallying point?
No, I think
or mirage victory.
I think the winning when you lose players is more telling about what you have moving forward than it is when you get guys back and have a victory.
The mirage victory doesn't make sense to me.
Mirage,
it's like
it would have been a mirage had guys come back and you'd be like,
it's a gutsy fucking win with a bunch of guys that shouldn't ever be playing in your lineup.
We had the replacements. We were the underdogs in that game. Everyone was voting for the Pittsburgh voting. Everyone was saying the Pittsburgh Steelers were going to win.
Which we like to do. We do like to see that.
I like to see that, and I like to go into this game knowing that the Cowboys are the underdogs.
All the analysts picked pretty much the lines as of right now.
Well, there we go. Cowboys finally
13 up 4 though.
Up 4. And you know what? I think that's fair. I think
fair.
13 is a pretty fair. I'm not saying everyone in front of them deserves to be where they are, but I think putting the Cowboys in 13th, okay, fair. We are a better team than that. We're going to prove it this Sunday against the Detroit Lions.
When we take on the number 3 ranked NFL.com at least.
Sure, bring it on.
3 ranked Detroit Lions.
And when we beat the Detroit Lions, they'll still be ranked ahead of us on this power ranking because of Ed fucking Holmes.
Probably. To be honest, they probably. Well, it's just the Detroit Lions. It's like, what? How's this?
Yeah, it's just the Detroit Lions. I mean, and at home, Cowboys definitely have a good time at home. We're fucking our own too at home. Anyways,
well, we're gonna do our scories and boldies, but anything in chat you want to hit up before we go?
I do want to hit some of that. Our boy Cowboys Chris from the Cowboys Up podcast, who was here on the Sunday win. He's now 1-1 in the Studs.
He is, yep.
The Cowboys on Sunday night, you are boys that wear crowns. Because I showed him AJ's, these kids wear crowns.
I like it.
And there's a message. Anybody out there who wants to see some legacy stuff, go into YouTube and type "These Kids Wear Crowns" or TKWC Vivo, and you'll see. Just take a look. Just take a look and see
have a
who
gander.
you might have a jumpstart your night with a legacy of music videos that you might see someone.
And Big Chris got a little upset with me.
He was
like,
pissed.
I did not know that you had a Canadian boy band B or C or D ranked career, and I was like, hey man, it's I'm all Cowboys all the time here. So
I thought he was gonna fight you.
I thought it. You know what? And Adam had to hold him back.
I thought he was gonna give you a molly whopping.
He was like, I'm a molly whop you, AJ.
I was hoping he was going to.
It was funny. A big fella story. When after you left, I was like, well, and then we finished I just had to let AJ talk for a bit on the post game, I had to let Ray J talk to let him get his demons out, so that we could get past that stream. So we did 7 hours and 8 minutes on Sunday. And then when he left, I was like to Chris, well, someone has to do the shirtless video. And I thought he was going to be in here. So when I started going like 3 and 2, 3, and I looked over and I was like, oh, he fucking walked out. And then I stopped it. And then he was like hiding down below over here so that he wouldn't make it in the video. So I want to say he's a consummate professional. I thought he was going to show up in the video and mob it with me, but he didn't. But love seeing him. We're going to see him in 2 weeks. Up in San Fran.
Are you sure he just wasn't trying to hide from a man who was taking a shirt off?
Yeah, totally. But we're seeing Boots. We're seeing big fella.
If you guys are out,
Gus actually said he might come out to the San Fran game.
Oh yeah, Gus,
if you are thinking about it, you have to do it. Pull the trigger. Come out and see us.
Let's take over San Francisco.
Let's take over San Francisco.
And those 39 nerds.
Before we we're gonna talk about that next week. Well, actually, probably
We're going to talk about it for 2 weeks.
for 2
because
weeks.
We have a
We're gonna
bye
talk
week.
about it for 2 weeks straight.
So let's get into our.
Score
Stories and
predictions and boldies.
We need to get a soundbite for these.
Does anyone have anything off the top of their gills? I have one.
Well, then go for it.
Okay, I'm gonna say the Dallas Cowboys are going to score
Points.
Yeah, 20. It's gonna be 24-17. Dallas Cowboys.
It's a good game. Because last year it was 2019. That Cowboys beat them 20 to 19.
No, it was 20. Oh, okay. I thought you were saying the year. It was
I just-
2023 last year.
I just feel like I don't know that the Lions got a lot off of this 2 weeks for the Cowboys because I think that there's just been too many changes that I still think they're going to be well prepared. That's not the concern. But I'm also not convinced that Detroit's in their full role right now, if you will. Like, they've only scored, though, it was 2016, 20 points, and then they scored a lot against the Seattle Seahawks, but then they had the bye week. So is the bye week going to end up making them hotter or cooler from that moment? I'm betting on cooler.
You're thinking it's going to be a little bit of a little dusting with some ice.
That's right. And I think the biggest tell is going to be the Dallas Cowboys' first drive. If they come down, score a field goal, which is the only field goal that I can, with my score prediction, accept.
Yeah, but what if Jared Goff goes 14 for 14 and has a perfect?
If he goes 14 for 14, 220 yards and 1 touchdown, Cowboys still win the game.
Yeah, man, I totally agree with that.
31-24 for my score prediction.
Wow.
Cowboys.
I like that too.
31-24, 24-17. I'm going to go somewhere in the middle. I'm going to go 28 for the Dallas Cowboys. 28-20. Our Cowboys, our home team, baby. Get the first win at Cowboy Stadium this year. AT&T Stadium, Jerry's World. Cowboys are going to take on those NFL.com at home number 3 ranked defensive Detroit Lions.
So we almost all of us have them within 1 score. The game within 1 score.
It's gonna
Actually,
be
we
a
all
tight
do
game.
because
Yep.
it's going to be a tight game. But I think the Cowboys are going to be, they're either going to eke out a win right at the end, scoring a touchdown or a field goal, depending on what it is, or they're going to be comfortably in the lead, and Detroit's going to be able to keep pace, but just they're going to be 1 down back or 1 scoring drive back the whole game.
You almost precogged the score last week. You had 20.
We were very close.
You had
close.
yours 2017.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost doesn't count.
Or
Almost
2019.
score-
20, yeah, it was
2019.
2019. I was not there. I was 2 off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
You know what?
2
Actually,
off
okay.
still means he was.
No, it's
I
not
have
right.
I have our soundbite. I'm gonna pull something from Minority Report about precogs for the score and bold predictions. Score prediction,
Yeah.
bold predictions. My bold prediction:
Boldy.
Jenkins stole
Bold me
it.
up.
Jenkins stole it. I'm still gonna roll with it. Bland's getting a pick 6.
Is that
Wow.
bold?
Fuck
Well,
yeah, he's
I
back.
guess no right now because we don't even know if he's
Exactly.
playing.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Okay, that tips it to the bold.
Otherwise,
Otherwise, I'd be like, yeah.
Well,
is that
and
bold?
then
I mean,
I'll go-
I just
I'll-
expect that from Deron Bland.
Outside of Bland,
No,
Matt,
no.
Okay, I'll wait,
If
I'll
you
wait.
have a second one, you can
I'll
say
wait.
it in the pregame.
Yeah,
but
okay,
you get
good.
on
Hey,
the main
good,
event.
Good.
Okay, so my first 14 bold predictions are no, my only bold prediction for the game is going to be the coming out party for our guy, Rico Dowdle. Yeah, he had a good game last week, but I think Rico Dowdle goes to the tune against these Detroit Lions for 145 yards and 2 touchdowns, baby.
is that
Ooh.
combined?
Yeah, I'm going just rush.
Just rushing.
Yeah, just
Wow.
rushing.
Ground and
145 yards, 2 touchdowns for our guy, and our new number 1 running back, number 23, Rico
Dowdle.
Thanks, Rico.
So you mean I shouldn't play Rico Dowdle this week then?
Yeah, you have
Oh,
to.
you have to.
You have to.
No, but I know. But if I play him, he's not going to do
No,
that.
he will.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
okay.
he will. He will.
Okay, I'll play him.
That's how
Okay.
confident I am in Rico.
I think for me, I'm going to do a stamp. I think the coming out game was last week for Tolbert, and I think he's putting the stamp on it this week. He's going to eclipse 100 yards with a touchdown. He's going to outperform CD, and there's going to be people, and this is just a side thing. There's going to be people who are saying, should Tolbert be our number 1 wide receiver?
Should Tolbert be?
Is that bold enough?
Well, did you give a stat line?
100 over 100 receiving yards,
'Kay,
1
that would-
touchdown, and leading
over 100 yards is a career high for him. So
That's what I mean.
I think that can still be, and to outpace anyone else on the team,
And
because he
leading
could have
reception.
he could have 100 yards, but if CD has 101,
Yeah, exactly.
no Boldy. Yeah, I think
No
that's
Boldy.
good.
I mean, he had his career high last week, so going back-to-back career high weeks, that is a bold one right there.
Back to back.
Awesome. Well,
When he's not wide receiver 1 or 2
Well,
currently yet.
for
So I
everyone
like it.
out in chat who's throwing your scores in here, those are legitimate. Go ahead and also throw your scores into our pregame. We are going to be launching 1 hour before
Live
kickoff.
4 hours before.
No,
kickoff.
no, yeah,
No.
We will be live. I think the game is at 1:25 PST, so we will be live at 12:25 PST for the Cowboys.
Do you love those midday games?
My favorite ones.
Yeah, these are my favorite
mid-game
ones.
mid-game days are my favorite. Not to mention it's Canadian Thanksgiving
Oh, yeah.
long weekend, so the Monday's off. So it's, you know, we can just let our hair down and have a good time. We don't got to worry about the. I hope there's a delay.
Shit,
I hope there's
a delay.
in a stadium. I hope there's a delay.
I hope there's a power delay.
Hey, no, we might just roll into the evening game if we're feeling good.
If we're feeling good and we're
it.
feeling pretty, Ad might be leaving, but AJ and I might just roll. So if you know a Detroit Lion fan out there, we only got one thing you can go ahead and tell them, and you can tell them to go fuck themselves.
Eminem, you fuck.